Step 12.
The last step. This is when you get your certificate.
This is when you're at the top of the staircase, and it's a long way down.
That's right. And we took 2 more steps up.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. You haven't got to the 14th yet.
No.
Good luck. Step 12. Having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to addicts and to practice these principles in all our affairs. Mm-hmm. What sticks out there to you?
Well, the first thing that sticks out is spiritual awakening.
Yeah, it's broken up into three steps, right?
Spiritual awakening, in the story that you told in our 11-step talk, that to me is a spiritual awakening.
Mm-hmm.
It's doing little things over and over again until suddenly something makes sense. It's some kind of softening of the heart, or it's a gradual kind of growth. I've seen it. I have seen it in people.
Me too.
With my very eyes, I've seen this happen in people.
It happens all the time.
It does. It does.
It really does. You can see it in people in meetings. You can see it in your clients. It's amazing what'll happen.
When you carry the message of recovery, and when you be the message of recovery, even more importantly, which is also a part of this step, is practicing the principles.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just patient, and you just keep on carrying the message. It changes people. It changes me. And I think that the spiritual awakening, it also sounds new agey.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be. It's not connected to any kind of particular belief. It's just the growth into a spiritual life.
Well, and I think it starts, the 12 step starts with that, because we know how much that's a must, is having a spiritual awakening. You have to come to terms with there's something bigger than yourself.
That's right.
Because if there's not, and you're the only person that's going to control what it is, it's just going to be bad and stay bad.
Well,
we've been down that road, right?
We tried it, and look what happened.
We're in the cellar.
Right.
We're climbing the steps now. We're at the 12th step.
Right.
We've been down there, and it didn't work.
It left to my own devices without a higher power. I already know what happens. That's why we got desperate enough to do this.
That's right.
But the freedom that we get is so great.
Yes. Okay. And the second part is
carrying the message.
The message to addicts. That is, it's everything, man. It's everything, because you've heard it a million ways. Giving is better than receiving, because when you give, you're actually receiving. I don't care who you are. When you give somebody a gift, like for their birthday or Christmas, and it's a thoughtful gift that it does you better than it does them every single time. I promise you it does.
Absolutely.
And when you're doing it without any strings attached, and when you're doing it because you feel it, you honestly are doing it for the right reasons, there's no better way to help yourself than to give it away.
No better way.
Better way.
This, I think, is the absolute responsibility of everyone in recovery, to carry the message, to look for opportunities to carry the message, and to be an example of recovery for someone that doesn't even know what it is.
No, and you don't even need to go out there waving some kind of big flag saying, look at me, look at me. I
suggest you don't do that, actually.
Very true. You don't realize how many people watch you, and how many people are paying attention to your life, especially in the people in your circle. And when you start bearing the right kind of fruit, it will just pay dividends. People will start asking you, what are you doing? There's something different. What's happening? Then you have some doors that can be open. You can start discussing some things. You don't have to. And you know how we are, man. You get people, we're 2 weeks into recovery, and we're, I'm over there healing people, knocking them down. You know what I mean? I'm whatever. That's not how to be. I'm the Benny Hinn of recovery.
Waving your jacket. Whoosh, recovery.
I showed up to an NA meeting in a white suit. Hallelujah. The apostle.
Actually, showing up to an NA meeting is a really good way to carry the message. If you're
not kidding.
At how to carry a message, that is a really good way to carry a message. I think it's essential. Just like you said, people are going to notice. People that knew us before are going to notice, man, we notice you're not drinking anymore. We notice that you're happier, that you're healthier, that you got your job, whatever's happening. People are going to pay attention to that. They may not believe it at first, but when you get a few years under your belt, which is why there's no rush in becoming 12-step preacher.
That's right.
It is
Right.
It's a gradual process. Let the opportunities come to you, and just be willing to meet them when they come.
Yeah, and that goes into the third part, is practicing these principles in all of our affairs. When you do that, that's when you're going to help other people without trying to help other people.
That's being an example.
That's right. That's when that spiritual awakening is going to be happening constantly in your life, because you're going to start recognizing things that you never recognized as blessings.
That's right.
And we get to the end of this, and me being in ministry and working in the church, I've told people this all the time. I think the 12 steps almost should be something that everybody does in their lives. It doesn't need to be for recovery.
It doesn't.
The principles of the 12 steps are very biblical. To me, they're biblical principles for you to have a successful life.
I think they are.
Because you have, I don't care where you are. There's people that are having problems in their families, with their marriages, with their kids, with their jobs, with whatever it is in their life. They have to come to a reality of where they are, right? Mm-hmm. That's the first part of it. And allowing God to work on those issues, and for you to admit, man, I can't do this by myself. Mm-hmm. Then you do a self-inventory of where you screwed up, right? Mm-hmm. Figure all that stuff out. Mm-hmm. Then we have to forgive other people and ask people to forgive us for all those things that we did. And then at that point, we learn to manage our feelings and our situations the correct way. And then by doing all that the right way, you help other people.
This is a guide for living.
It's a guide for living.
And it's a guide for living that really works.
Yep.
Which is why it's stuck around. It's brilliant. It
is.
The kind of freedom that we get from working the steps is unlimited. I mean, it just goes, it's on and on. And the 12th step is the end of the steps, but it's also a beginning.
It is. Yeah.
Because
and
now it's like, go out and do your thing.
Yeah. And you're not going to start these 12 steps in 2 weeks, fix every problem in your life. There are going to be moments where you're going to want to just pour a Tabasco right in your eyeball. I mean, because life is life, folks. It's how you handle it and how you deal with it that where all these 12 steps can make a difference and make a difference. You can change your family tree. That's what I always say. You can change the direction you're going in your life and affect all the people after you. You really can.
The 12 steps are not a guarantee that we're going to get rich or that we're going to have an easier time or that life is going to treat us better or that, tragedies aren't going to happen. But it will give us the tools to face all of those things and do it without getting high.
Yes. And that's
for
it.
addicts, that's everything.
It is.
That's the foundation of our life.
Just reminding you guys, please like, subscribe, and share our channel. Help us get the word out. Share the 12 steps. We have a playlist dedicated to all 12 of the steps, and you can share that. And we'd love to know your opinion on any of these steps.
Absolutely. Please leave us a comment. Tell us your story of recovery and what it means to you and how you practice the steps. Or if you don't practice the steps, tell us what you do. We're always interested in hearing about all methods of recovery or ways of practice. So let us know. Thank you so much for listening.